सवालों की बातें जवाबों के कई साल हमने सवारे यही साथ अकेले हुए हम जवान था बचपन बड़ा आशिकाना हमारा सलामत रहे दोस्ताना हमारा चाहे दुश्मन ज़माना हमारा सलामत रहे दोस्ताना हमारा। Would have saw the Brotherhood in that song there, done by Jai Paul Dindyal and Ram Narayan Singh. I'm now going to ask from the same village of Hubu, Mahendra Ramkisoon, not Mahendra Ramkelawan. Mahendra Ramkisoon is now going to come up and he's going to do a rendition, but he's going to be backed by the Indus Voices, Amara Amisar and Troop. And then after that we're going to get ready for one of our main speakers this evening. So let's welcome Mr. Mahendra Ramkisoon. begins to celebrate 50 years as an independent nation. And there are so many other programs planned before we reach December 26, 2017. We talk about culture, we talk about the crossover culture, we talk about exchanging dances, exchanging foods, exchanging knowledge. One of our main speakers here tonight is going to be highlighting to us under the theme of Confluence, the crossover of culture, the respect of culture, the highlighting of some of those cultures. And I don't think that the organizers could have picked better presenters here tonight to highlight these cultures to you. One such person is advising the office of the president. He's a gentleman we all know for his highlighting of situations, his explanation, his interest that he has where politics is concerned, and more so his knowledge that he has with him. And tonight we're honored to have him here at the Catherina Islamic Complex to share some of that knowledge with us. My dear gathering, my dear brothers and sisters, let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Harry Paul, Mr. Malcolm Harry Paul, to say a few words with us.
To Master of Ceremonies, my brothers and sisters, namaskar, salam to all of you, our Honorable Minister of Social Cohesion, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India, the REO of Region 3, Mr. Lance Carberry, Mr. Harry Dilkanan, the Prime Minister's representative for this region, and all other distinguished personalities present here. When I heard Russ doing the introduction, I thought he was going to call on somebody else. I didn't know he was actually calling on me. But as I'm here, I guess I have to speak. I'm not going to give you a speech as such. I'll be making a few quick points. First of all, I'd like to applaud Brother Hakim, the president of the Catherina Islamic Complex, for spearheading this event here tonight. And indeed, I wish to thank all the members of the Catherina Islamic Complex in hosting the activities here tonight. And also the members of the Hindu Youth Group, Hindus for Selfless Service, for participating. And also Mr. Ramisar and his Indus Voices music group. What we are witnessing here this evening, in celebration of Guyana's 50th independence anniversary, are three main religious groups in Guyana, Hindu, Muslim, and Christians, all meet here together in peace and harmony to host this event. What it shows is not just mere respect or mere tolerance for each other's religious beliefs, but it is an embrace of each other's religious belief. It shows we embrace each other's religious belief, and that we believe that whether we are Muslims or Hindus or Christians, what matters is how you relate to God and how you relate to other people in the community, how you relate to humanity, how you relate to the animals in the world. That is what is far more important than your religious beliefs, or rather than which church or which mosque or which mandir you go to. And what this says for Guyana is that we can be an example to the rest of the world where embracing religious beliefs is concerned. Because in many parts of the world there is no peace, there is strife. In fact, as I speak to you, in part of Myanmar, which was formerly Borno, there is Muslim on Muslim violence, which in turn sparked large protests in Bangladesh. In Guyana, we don't have situations like that. We live in peace and harmony here. And as I said before, we go on and we embrace our religious beliefs, we embrace each other. And this can be a very good example to the rest of the world, small as we are. The other point I want to make is, as we meet here towards the end of 2016, and meeting at the time of the 50th anniversary of Guyana's independence. There is also a third important event that has been taking place very slowly over the years. And this was confirmed with the recently released census, which shows that the Indian Guyanese population has been in decline for some while now. So much so that we no longer constitute the majority of the population. And in fact, my esteemed friend, Dr. Ramesh Gampat, is of the view that if the trend continues, that in 60 years' time, we will become the third largest minority in Guyana. And if we can extrapolate that to 100 years from now, we will probably be the smallest minority in Guyana. So if the trend continues, all that we saw this evening, the music, the food that we have there, in other words, what we have come to know as Indian Guyanese culture will disappear. But it does not have to be so. We as Indian Guyanese can make a concerted effort to make sure that Indian Guyanese culture remains alive and well in Guyana by reaching out to the other segments of the population. Something we have not done in an organized and concerted way in the past. The largest growing group in Guyana is the mixed race group. And I saw this for myself last Wednesday when I was in Linden. I spent some time walking around the Linden market. I spent some time at Mackenzie High School, and also at two other schools over at Wismore and Krishnapur. And I can see the change in the demographic, the change in the population. So what we have to do is to make an effort to reach out to other segments of the population to pass on our Indian Guyanese culture. Because if we don't, it will die out. And what is also very important for us to do so is that it is this Indian Guyanese culture over the years that has saw the proliferation of agriculture in Guyana, has saw the proliferation of commerce in Guyana, of business of Guyana, and of course we have contributed in a very large way to the professions in Guyana, be it the legal profession, medical, engineering fields, teaching fields. So we need to keep our Indian Guyanese culture alive and well, and to ensure that 100 years from time, most of the Guyanese, no matter who they look like, will also embrace Indian Guyanese culture. We have several things going for us. No matter where we go in the world, people like our clothes, they like our song, they like our dance, they like our food. So this is something we have to capitalize on. And we have to go into non-traditional Hindu areas, into non-traditional Muslim areas. We have to go into areas like Bartica, areas like Linden, and have sessions there, be it chauta singing, be it singing a bhajan, or simple tassa playing, to sensitize people and to pass on your culture and your knowledge. My friends, I don't want to take too long because we have been here for quite a while now. The last point I will make is that next year, we are actually at the point where we are also marking 100 years since indentureship came to an end. Next year we mark that event. It's been 100 years now since we have stopped importing labor from India. So with the season of labor from India, with people not coming from India, and we have the declining population here, other people continue to emigrate for whatever reason out of Guyana, so it is inevitable that our population will continue to decline. But like I said, our history, our culture can live on. And as regards history, I want to say to you that we have to learn, especially the young people, to separate historiography from religion. As it is true that the stories of King David and Moses, that those stories are the historiography of the peoples of the Middle East, equally true are the stories of Lord Krishna and Lord Rama, part of Indian historiography. And before we became Christians and Muslims, our ancestors were people from India, and that was our history, and we have to embrace that history. Today, with the advancement of science and technology, with satellite imaging, with advances in astronomy, we are in a unique position to advance our history because we can use those technologies to prove the stories of Lord Rama, the stories of Lord Krishna, that these stories are actually true, they're part of our history. And young people like to see the Star Wars movies. Young people like to Google search on the internet. And of course, tremendous information regarding historiography is also available on Google search. And we have to encourage young people of all groups in Guyana to engage in those researches. And this is how we win over people. This is how we continue to perpetuate our Indian Guyanese culture and heritage in Guyana. So I thank you for listening to me and being very kind.
President General of the Catherina Islamic Complex, Brother Hakim Khan, Your Excellency, High Commissioner to India and his beautiful wife, Regional Executive Officer, Region 3, all other special invitees, brothers and sisters, salam, namaskar, and a pleasant good evening to all of you. Let me say how pleased I am to be in receipt of this invitation to attend this activity referred to as Confluence, where you are seeking to highlight the integration and evolvement of the Indian culture, Islamic and Hindu cultures into the Guyanese society over the last 50 years. I read and reread the correspondence you sent me with a sense of pride and joy. Why? My brothers and sisters, because you are exhibiting in a profound way for the rest of Guyana to see what cohesion is all about. You are making my task as Minister of Social Cohesion and the work of the ministry and the government of Guyana easier. I want you to give yourselves a round of applause for the organization of such an activity. I have not seen this before in our country, where two distinctly different religious groups have come together and share the same stage for entertainment and educational purposes. Your invitation says you are seeking to highlight the integration of your two cultures into the Guyanese society. Previously, I would have seen the Hindus and the Muslims undertaking such an event independently. To see a joint undertaking is commendable. You have pooled your resources, human and otherwise, and I'm sure value will be added in many ways to this activity as opposed to if you had done it individually. My brothers and sisters, this is a true epitome, true demonstration of cohesion, and I laud you all. I salute the organizers of this initiative. I'm going to be very brief this evening. This is because I am addressing people who understand that social cohesion is about nurturing individual and community relationships. And our aim of doing so is for a unified Guyana. Our country has had enough division based on our diversities, whether they are based on age, race, gender, geographic location, religion, or culture. We have had too much disunity based on our differences, and this has not been helping us as a nation. With our multiple differences, we like to say we are multicultural and multi-ethnic society. While this is so, it can be used to our advantage. Because of our differences, we have a multiplicity of skills, talents, and you've seen a lot of that exhibited here tonight, and knowledge to build rather than to destabilize our country. You are using our diverse nature here this evening in a positive way, and I commend you for that. That is what the Ministry of Social Cohesion wants to do all across Guyana. We want to encourage you to support other branches of Hindu and Islamic community to replicate actions like this one. It is through such activities barriers are broken, networks are established, and communities are able to unify for the common good. I believe some of you sitting here may have already benefited from some interaction with the Ministry of Social Cohesion. We have had consultations here in Region 3, at Leg 1, at IFLOT, at Potential. Those were aimed at getting inputs from the people of this region as we seek to develop the social cohesion strategic plan for Guyana for the period 2017-2021. After that, we come back just 2 weeks ago and interface with key persons from the RDC, the CDCs, the NDCs, the religious community, and so forth for training in diversity education and inclusion. Those were workshops, each lasting 2 days, and they were held at Gaisuko, Wales, and the Gaisuko Staff Club at Iflot. We have been able to secure the services of someone who is trained to execute training in diversity education. We are very pleased to have as our lead trainer, Mistress Carla Sigopol. Many of you may know her as Auntie Carla, and she is from right here in Region 3 and has been doing an excellent job in providing training at the community level, helping persons to have a better understanding of cohesion. We would invest in this kind of education, brothers and sisters, for the people of Guyana, because